Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for tuning in here. I restarted this thing because welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Millennium Park. Here we are by the Great Bean here. We'll go down here and get a nice little view of the tree here. People are waiting to take photos here, so we'll back up and let them take some photos here. But we'll head down to the ice skating rink. Yeah, I started this earlier, and it was so funny. You know, I walked to get down here. I had everything set up to go, and then hey Angel, thanks for tuning in. Best laid plans. You know, I had my gloves on, I had everything ready to go, and then I got an error message, but then people could come in, and then I already was silent for so long that I started to start this thing over. So hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Chicago. Here we are once again on a nice sunny day. It's cold, but it's 31 degrees. What do we got? Monday, December the 11th. Hey, they got the music playing here. The ice skating rink's looking good. Tara's tuning in. Angel, we'll let everybody else find us back. I know there are people, Diana and Brandon and other people were tuning in. I had to restart this thing, so thanks. We'll let people join back in here and find us, and then we'll do our nice little loop walk. I feel like heading down to the old post office. We'll see if we can make it down there in time for our lunch break, but I just wanted to check out the ice skating rink here to start off this little excursion. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Millennium Park here. You know right where we're at. Yeah, City Walking Girl was down here on Friday, which was great. And it's all, you know, she was streaming all weekend, which was great. And she was down in Hyde Park last night. It was nice to see that. And here we are back in the loop. Brandon, thanks for coming back. Thanks. Yeah, the old post office is great. I want to see if they got some nice Christmas decorations. I wanted to start this thing at the ice skating rink, and since, you know, we've been here a lot, but I want to take advantage of this beautiful season here while we're here this week, because I'll be out of town next week, so I want to film as much of this as possible along with City Walking Girl before we break for the holidays there and head to Point South. But there's the Great Bean of Chicago. We started up there. There's the official Christmas tree, the skyline of Chicago. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, let's head across the loop. Let's see how long it's going to take me to get over to the old post office building. And if we go over there, we might as well go through Union Station. There's the L green lines pulling up into the L station there. Good afternoon. Yeah, Sharon, how you doing? Yeah, the lunch bunch. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll get the light here. Yeah, we got the light. Everything's working out. Yeah, you get the elotes, and they were all selling all the... We were here on Friday after dark, and I was amazed at the amount of people coming down to ice skate, and the bike taxis were out, and it was great. Yeah, isn't that nice, Brandon? Yeah, City Walking Girl's great. Yeah, she's... I know you were joking with her about the gimbal. She was like, oh, Brandon doesn't come on here and ask me to get a gimbal. I know you were just joking. That's good. She likes you. And yeah, we'll head right into the loop here. How's everybody doing? Hey, I was talking with Grim Evil. He's got some shirts, and we're gonna with Brian Really Chicago on it. And if you're looking for some swag, he's gonna test it out on the lunch bunch here. I, of course, I'm just preparing for the future. I don't expect anybody to purchase anything. I'm just giving people an option in the future, because all the other great live streamers from New York and other places have like stickers and t-shirts and mugs and all that stuff. So I worked with what's it called? It's called that shop there on YouTube. I partnered with them, and we got a nice little merchandise store linked up both with TikTok. There's a link there at the top of my bio, and the same thing with YouTube with the shop tab. Looks like it's starting to go there, so we'll just give people options. But we'll go by Jewelers Row here. We'll head over under Wabash. That's Angel. Yeah, good. So now we got options here. Thanks everybody. Thanks Dolores. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. So yeah, we'll head under the L station here at Wabash in Washington, and we'll head right over to State Street. And we'll see you. Wait for this traffic to clear out here. There, the light's changing here. This underneath the L train, Wabash, Jewelers Row. And oh, we're at Madison. Actually, we're at Madison. We're a block south of Washington. So I forgot the Washington and Wabash station goes down to Madison. There's looking south on Wabash. We'll head across the post office building. I got my gloves on, so hopefully I won't have to do much pinch and zoom. And I'll take my gloves off once we get inside the old post office building, Union Station. Hopefully they'll have some holiday decorations. Go with the season here. There's the Carson Perry Scott, the Gothic Target, Louis Sullivan. It's great. And we got wreaths. We got wreaths on the, this is the building a block south of Macy's, Marshall Fields. It's the one with the TJ Maxx in it and Burlington Coat Factory. There's the Garrett's Popcorn. You get your Garrett's Popcorn. See, there's many outlets for Garrett's Popcorn. You can get it shipped all over the country and no reason to wait in line. We'll cross State Street here. Right at State and Madison, his busiest intersection. Look, somebody's doing some nice artwork there. You can buy some nice artwork there right on State Street and make a nice holiday gift. Brandon, yeah, Anita, how you doing? Yeah, the way I roll. How you doing? Yeah, Monday. Manic Monday. But it's not too bad. 30, 32, 31 degrees isn't too bad. Here's the L rolled by. Oh, we got the light here. So here, look at this vintage skyscraper here, right on State Street looking south. That's down to Palmer House Hilton. There's the Chicago Theater you can see up that way. Oops, sorry. And we'll go by Zumiez. Look at these skateboards. Look at all those boards and the hats. All this style here. That's interesting. They got this nice skateboard skater style shop here. 7 West Madison. Look at these doors. Look at those windows. Look how that looks. You know, just classic. That's what a skyscraper should look like. Big City Optical. It used to be 4 Eyes. Now it's Big City Optical. Everything gets buying out. 64. Yeah, rub it in. I know it's all relative. I know 64 probably feels cold Fahrenheit compared to 32. And we got 31. It got down to the upper 20s. We got a slight wind, but yeah, once you get used to it, you know, I got my knit cap on. Diana, thanks for finding us back. Yeah, I started that live and restarted it, so thanks for coming back. I could have rolled with it, but you know, since it goes into the live reruns there, I'll want to get a nice start to it for other people just tuning in for the first time. So here, look at this giant plaza. It's amazing, these plazas. We got the light here. We'll go by. Here's the tall Chase building. So where we're heading is we're generally heading on the other side of the Sears Tower, south and west. The southwest side of the loop. We'll actually cross the river, or at least I'm planning to, and we'll go over to the old post office building, which is the giant building that the Eisenhower Expressway actually goes underneath. When you leave Ida B. Wells, used to be Congress, you go underneath the old post office building. It's been converted to offices. We've been there many times before. I just don't know if I've been there on YouTube recently, and we want to see if it's got any Christmas decorations, holiday decorations. We'll go by some of these plazas, and then if we have time, we got 12:12 in the PM here, Chicago time. We'll cruise by Krist Kringle on the way back, but I ain't gonna spend much time there because how many times have we been there? Hey, they got some little trees here. We'll go by the mosaics here. And Chagall, the Mark Chagall with a G. I messed up one time, said Cheval, like small Cheval, but it's Chagall. And here they got the nice Christmas trees here. Beautiful Chagall mosaics here. This is the Chase Plaza here, Chicago. They got the Italian Village is across the way. It's a nice restaurant option right here in the heart of the loop. They got see, this could be our Rockefeller Plaza right here. That's what they kind of intended it as. It's like a similar scale, but Chase Bank building here. So tall, I can't even get to the top of it. Look at that. Look at this clock tower. Got little Christmas trees. Slip of the tongue, slip of the tongue. It poured all night in Massachusetts. Yeah, I saw you got all that rain that went up the East Coast. It was nasty, all that rain and the whole East Coast. Did you see those tornadoes? Those tornadoes hit like what, Tennessee and places, central part of the south central part of the United States. It's just so strange that we can get tornadoes any time of the year now. In the wintertime. Oh, I know it's fall, it's still technically fall, but December 11th, I mean, you know, usually when I was younger, you usually didn't have to worry about, well, I guess anytime in the South, Texas, you can get tornadoes any time of the year, I know. And certainly, but Tennessee, but I'll need to look into that. There's that bell. No change, warmer, cold. You see how they have like a, on the side there, it says no change, warmer, colder, snow, rain, time and temperature. It's a digital display. That was an old, that bell there on the side here where the Italian Village is right over there. Here's the Chase Manhattan building. The Coca-Cola truck right in front of it. Oh, welcome to America. So here we'll, here's a whole pallet of Coke and Sprite right there. Look at that. They're loading up the drinks there for the Walgreens. But here we'll cross the street here. I just saw we got the light here. Yeah, Tennessee's horrible. I know. It was just, it's devastating. It comes in the middle of the night. Okay, so it's cold. You got a tornado. It's hitting power lines in the middle of the night. You're seeing the substations blow up, and then it's a tornado. What do? You know, you just go to the basement. You know, it's just horrible. And yeah, but I'll have to look into that more. I don't know much information about it. Oh, there's racquetball courts at McSwain Park and Morgan Park. That's good to know. Thanks for the good information. See, we learn something new every day. And yeah, well, we'll do the best we can. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the YouTube audience here. I'm just happy we're able to stream. I'm happy City Walking Girl can stream, and I'm happy that Grim Evil's there helping out with the shirts. We got this nice community. I've been talking to our friend Jen there about you should eat about the Piper's Alley that used to be there right next to Second City. Look at the Board of Trade. So we'll look into that. We'll get more information. Let's head towards the Board of Trade here. We can get this in the background here. We'll head down the south. We head towards the old post office. But Piper's Alley, I don't know if anybody remembers that. That was before my time, before I lived in Chicago. Well, actually, before I was born. I mean, it was mid-60s to mid-70s. There was this little alley where the Second City, you know, Improv Theater is. They had like 15 shops. It wrapped, you know, it was like a pedestrian alley. And, you know, the hippie subculture. It was an interesting old shops. There's a great webpage that shows about all those old. There was a Ripley's Believe It or Not. There were like go-go dancing places. There was bars and interesting chuck wagon. There was a Paul Bunyan type restaurant with giant food portions. These eclectic shops that used to be in Old Town Chicago, and it was all centered on Piper's Alley. And so Jen's researching that, and it's great because she's been posting some great historical photos of how before and after, how it looks now compared with the exact same vantage point of the historical photos. And that's great. Isn't that great that we're all researching this and learning and posting stuff, and it triggers memories, and people respond in the comments. They add information. They say, well, check out this, and leads to other stuff. But here, there's the Board of Trade, the Rookery building. Of course, we've been in the Rookery building. We got some beautiful footage of that redesigned Frank Lloyd Wright interior. And of course, it was Burnham and Root that designed this 1886, 1888 load-bearing walls. Classic building here on LaSalle. We'll go by the W Hotel. There's the Marriott. Looks like it's decorated for the holidays. The W Hotel. There's the Sears Tower. And went to St. Michael's. Yeah, the Bazaar Bazaar. That's another one. The Bazaar Bazaar. It was like a hippie kind of head shop and had unique stuff. St. Michael's survived the Great Chicago Fire. Not really, it was completely damaged. It was, the roof was burnt and the windows were destroyed. The only thing that remained was the brick walls that they salvaged, rebuilt St. Michael's Church. We went inside there one night, and same thing with St. James Cathedral, that Episcopalian church on Wabash in the River North. I know there's another St. James that's a Lutheran church that's in Lincoln Park, and I'll have to research more about that beautiful church there too, which we saw decorated for a holiday. Here comes the L. Wow, look at that. See into the city here on Wells Street. Right on time, the L is pulling into the station here. The Quincy station, that's one of the historic stations here. Quincy, and go down to Adams here. But here we'll keep the Sears Tower in view as we head down towards the old post office building. Actually, I want to head down. Let's see if we got 11 seconds. Yeah, let's cut down this way. Look at this vantage point. Alina, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. This is the live walking. This is live right here. This is not a recording, so the other one must be a recording. This is the live one. So I know it's hard to tell sometimes. The first one I started and stopped, and I restarted, so it might be confusing. But yeah, this is we got 12:19 in the PM here, Chicago, December the 11th, Monday. We're heading under the L tracks here. So thanks for tuning in. We're seeing your comments here. You're on the right one. And there, look, brown, orange, pink, purple line trains, Quincy stop. You see how this is story? They painted it all brown. But and it's so weird, like one way, only the brown lines on one side. Here's an amazing view to the Sears Tower. Look at that. Straight up this alley. And we'll head over here. We'll head past the southern end. We'll go by the food court and all that, and we'll head towards the old post office. Yeah, it's good. Elena, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, happy time. Once again, we've arrived at a great moment of time. Our lunchtime YouTube walks. Thanks everybody for being a part of it. Here we'll turn to the right here, and yeah, hopefully that worked out on Saturday night. I wanted to give City Walking Girl time to finish up her walk. She streamed for a long time on Saturday night, which was great. And then so I was on YouTube when we headed up to Wrigley Field, and when I got to Belmont, I switched to TikTok, and we saw some good revelry, people dressed up in ugly sweaters and costumes and Santas and Grinches and elves and everybody in the nice costumes there, going to all those festive holiday bars. We found a Hanukkah bar. We saw the Kabbalah guys were handed out menorahs and donuts, and they had their nice parade there through Halstead, and then we went back to Lincoln Park, and we saw that Terrasol. We saw that the chips of the world, snacks from all over the world. That popped up. I didn't know much about it, and so it's just so funny. I have to check out that store, see what else is actually in there. Just a nice, unique sample snacks from around the world. Here, we'll get across Franklin here. I think this is Franklin. There's the urban space. There's the Sears Tower. So we already made it down here. It's amazing, yeah. And there's the 311 South Wacker. We'll head behind that building, and we'll head right over to the post office. So yeah, I went to angle. There's the old, it used to be the AT&T building, but they call it something else now. So here we're at Jackson and Franklin, Chicago. We're kind of exiting the loop here. And I might as well, since we're here, we've done this before. You know, there's a great food court right there. With Urban Space Food Court, we got good footage on that. Okay, good. So we'll go inside the 311 South Wicker building briefly, just so I can get warmed up a second, so my glasses can get fogged up. And there's the Sears Tower, Willis Tower, whatever you want to call it. I call it the Sears. We have this discussion every day. We'll go inside here. And there's just such a beautiful atrium on the other side with the restaurant here. And we'll see if anybody's having lunch yet. It buffered? Good. Yeah, we always have those buffering issues, and it might buffer in here. Thanks. I'm trying to check my streaming rate. It looks like we're streaming at 3,800 kilobits per second. We get the Halstead Deli. If you just joined, we're in Chicago. We're in the 311 South Wacker building, which is just south of the Sears Tower. And the reason I walked here, I wanted this view right here. Look at this amazing view. We got this atrium. We got this wonderful restaurant here. People are having lunch. Look at that, the whole banquet table. I'll get you the name of this restaurant once we get down here. And wintertime, this is great. See how they got the green plants? And there it is, Pazzo's. That's Pazzo's restaurant. Got a nice holiday display here. We'll head right over to the fountain over here. It almost reminds me of Rockefeller Center, right? You know, like the statues. And this was built in the late 80s when all that capital built up for the... No buildings were built for almost 10 years after all these tall ones were built in the late 80s, early 90s. It wasn't until the Park Hyatt there by the Water Tower Place was built in 1999. There was like 7 years where nothing was built. It's funny, you know, the buildings come in bunches. This was at the tail end of that, the great boom of the 80s for high-rise construction. Same with the 70s, which got us all the super tall buildings that we got in Chicago. At least they were super tall when they were built. But there it is. There's the old post office building. Look at that. We got a whole view of it. We've talked about the history of this building before. And isn't that nice? Yeah. Natural lighting. Yeah, that skylight is great, and how they could be used in the wintertime with this green plants. But yeah, this is the old post office building in Chicago. Think of when Sears Roebuck, Montgomery Wards, the original Amazons and Googles of their day, when all that merchandise was shipped out on railroads from Chicago, the mail order companies, we had to have a post office this large to handle all that. And it's built on top of a railroad yard. The railroads could pull right underneath it. Back in the old days, the mail used to go by railroad before the interstate system. And the new post office is south of it. There's a huge automated post office system that distributes it now with trucks and all that stuff. See how we got the view? That's where we were just at, that atrium right there. That's the 311 South Wacker. And there's the Sears Tower. And we'll get better views of it once we cross the river here. And here, I'll stay on this side so we can get views looking north. See, there's what's in there. Uber Freight, Walgreens, PepsiCo, CBOE, Visit. This is the old post office building. We're going to try to take a peek inside. Here's we're heading across the Chicago River here, the South Branch. We're at Van Buren. There's Jackson. We're looking towards Jackson Street. And yeah, Dubai's great. Dubai's got the super talls. Dubai has buildings that are twice as tall as the Sears Tower. Can you believe that? Dubai has buildings that are twice as tall as the Sears Tower, and so does China, I think. But there's the old post office building. And look at this concrete stuff. This like leftover from the industrial ages, and you see underneath the lower levels there where all those plazas. But hey, let's head across the street once we get past the bridge here. Yeah, we got it. And see, I'm gonna try to get to that plaza because there's a great view. That's the Ida B. Wells becomes the Eisenhower Expressway. It goes right through the middle of this building. There's the new it's a BMO Harris building right there. They built that just in the last 5 years right there. Look, there's the menorah. Happy Hanukkah. Yeah, we're middle of Hanukkah. Great to see people out. And here we go. See how it says United States Post Office. Parcel post interest. We'll go right where he went. We'll go. And look at the scale of this building once we get in here. We streaming okay? Good. So hey, if you just joined, welcome to Chicago. We're here just west of the river, and we're going to enter the Old post office building. We got a Christmas display. And so imagine how many post offices do you see that have a lobby this large? And this, of course, was used in some of the Batman movies. They used this in other movies where they made it like a bank that was being robbed. Here's a nice holiday display. What time we got? 12:28, so we're doing okay on time. I won't spend too much time here, maybe 5 minutes, if that. And yeah, the Sears Christmas catalog. That was the old thing.
We don't allow to use cameras.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. See, so remember all the times I came in here and they're cracking down on the cameras, so they're not going to allow. I'll just zoom in the Christmas trees there. I want to promote the wonderful post office building and all the great companies that work here. Yeah, that's great. I know the security's just doing their job. Remember all the times I used to film in there, and now they're cracking down. Security found me right away, and I wanted to walk through there, and I have footage of it. You can go to my TikToks, and the space between corporate and private space is quickly drawing. Even though it's a public place where you can go in there and eat food, the security doesn't. You know, they're all. It's because of TikTok and because of YouTube and people like me. They're really starting to crack down. They said I can't film in there, and isn't it amazing? Like so, what if someone's sitting at their dining table there, and they're just like recording what they're eating or something like that? Are they really going to enforce it? I don't think so. But they saw me come in the door, and since I'm very conspicuous, we gave it a try. So we'll head to Union Station. This is okay. This doesn't bother me at all. We'll keep on trucking here. We'll cross the street here. And what time we got here? Yeah, don't blame me. Blame the corporate security. Blame the fucking stock market. Fuck the stock market and fuck all these corporations. You know, they're gonna ruin everything when they make AI. I'm really angry at corporations. I'm really angry that the stock market goes up every single day and people are being squeezed on their housing affordability. Who do we got to thank for that? BlackRock, they're buying up all the housing. We all know what's happening. There's an article in some of the major newspapers today about how the affordable housing, people in the middle to lower tiers are spending over half of their income on housing. Wall Street is responsible for that. BlackRock is forcing up real estate prices. It helps the wealthy. They want to avoid a housing crisis. That's great. Everybody gets up in arms when the housing crisis affects the wealthy. We'll see how there'll be crickets when the housing crisis affects the people at the bottom. Because, and so, if we want class warfare, we're heading towards it. And I'm angry about it. I'm angry about the closing of corporate space, that I can't just go in there and film something historic that we can talk about, like the old post office building, and just educate people. We can still walk in Union Station. There'll be a day when I'm walking through Union Station, because it's already happened with the CTA stations, where they'll ask me not to film in the train stations. And so we'll keep trying it until we can. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to the look at this amazing colonnade here of the Union Station. I'm sorry I cursed, but I'm really angry. I'm really angry that I can't film in the old post office building, because I filmed there many times before. And not only did I film there, and then TikTok just deletes my footage. So I'm very angry. But here, we'll go into where the Amtrak is here. And thanks for understanding. Thanks for tuning in. We'll show you some good scenes of Union Station here. Look at this beautiful historic entrance here. If you ever seen the Untouchable movies, you'll see how this was used, where Andy Garcia and Kevin Costner had the baby carriage scene. The famous baby carriage scene is one of the most cited scenes in cinematic history. It actually happened on the staircase on the other side, but here we're entering the grand, what do they call this? The grand waiting area here for Union Station. And look at the Christmas tree. Look how nice this looks with the flag. And it would have been really nice to film inside the old post office building because they got a really nice Christmas tree. They got to protect. But I always love this. Look at this. Look at the diversity of our country. We always have, you know, these are people waiting for Amtrak trains mostly. Look at this. How they got. Look at all the insignia of all the Michigan Central, Pierre Marquette, Western Pacific, 20th Century Limit, Amtrak. Look at all the insignia. We got Amish and Mennonites waiting here. They use the trains instead of taking planes, and this is a nice option to have. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And look at that classic entryway. What a way to enter a city. And, you know, with trains, even though it takes longer, you enter at the city, or you enter at the center of the city, as opposed to airports. You always head on the edge, and you have to get to the city. And it's one of the benefits of train travel is that it allows. And look, there's a Hanukkah display over here. Let's check out some of the nice Christmas decorations. So maybe it's good that we didn't spend so much time in the old post office building, because it allows me to have more time to cruise through the Union Station here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Welcome to Chicago. And we're just checking out this grand waiting area here, the historic portion of Union Station, and then we'll walk through where the trains are and stuff. Hey, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. Look at this. Got the dreidels and menorah. And we'll just go straight up the center here and film this Christmas tree. Isn't this nice? Isn't this amazing? Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Oh yeah, take the Metro. Take the Metro. I'll show you where you can go to the Metro train. So, you know, and this is a neoclassical building that was designed in the 1920s. It could support floors on top of this light well, but I'm glad the light well's still here. There's always talk about redeveloping the air rights above this, but it usually never happens. And look, 2 all trains. If you've seen Silver Streak, that 70s movie, and they used this train station. It was used for, Gary Coleman was in a movie. Danny and I talk about that movie where he was living out of Union Station. And Gary Coleman's, of course, was Arnold from Second. So if I lose, I'm starting to use the. Who's limiting our corporations? The chilling effects of corporations limiting our First Amendment rights. And it's going to continue as more money. And so here's the Faustian bargain. You know, you were all forced to invest in the stock market, which corporations benefit from that the most. We benefit too, but they benefit more. And then they did get to dictate the terms, and we'll never catch up to their wealth. And it's a trick, but well, that's the only option we got. I might be wrong about it, you know. Don't do what I do and short the stock. This is the largest station in Chicago by and then, of course, I think Millennium Station's number 3, and then LaSalle Station's number 4. There's 4 commuter rail stations here in Chicago. We're in Union Station right now. We're heading through the food court area, and we'll walk out of here and we'll head up. Back outside here. Hey, hold on the handrail, so we'll head back out and we'll walk back across the loop. What time we got? We got 12:38. Good. So we'll head straight across the loop. I'll try to hit the Kringle market on the way back there, and we'll. No, can't get out. There we go. See, we're right back out at the Chicago River here. Thanks for tuning in for a little tour of Union Station. I wanted to film the old post office, but they wouldn't let me film in there. I'm amazed how, you know, they as soon as I stepped in the door, they radioed to that guy. They were like, "Stop that guy, he's filming." And it's amazing how it doesn't take long at all. They're surveilling everything all the time, you know. But hey, we'll keep on streaming here. Here's the south branch of the Chicago River. There's looking back towards the Salesforce, and I'll still be able to get footage out of the old post office. All you got to do is, and I thought about this even with the Chicago Athletic Club. If you go in there with the phone in the pocket and get inside there and sit at a table, actually get some food, and then I could start filming and just walk out, and they won't even know. They just saw me coming in the entrance, blazing with my gimbal, and it was too conspicuous. So there's other ways to get footage out of there. We'll play the game. What are they? The worst they can do is just escort me out. They're not going to arrest me or anything unless I like start fighting with security, which I don't do. I'm a hippie. You know, I back down from a fight pretty quickly, as people know. But hey, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for dealing with my outburst of anger. But I feel better that I got it out, so you guys know I'm genuine, and this is how I truly feel about what's happening. And I know they got their reasons. They got their reasons why they don't want me filming in there, and so they own the place. You know, they own everything. They're going to own all the housing. We're all going to be tenants. Tenants to Wall Street. It's great. But hey. And that's why I keep trying to understand. You know, I understand how socialism has a lot of problems. Socialism is not the answer. But, you know, supposedly the stock market, we all benefit, right? No, that's not true. Some people benefit more than the others. But we think of it as like this social thing that we all benefit from. It's not true. There's winners and losers. And it's a power structure. And, you know, yeah, it doesn't lift all boats. It sinks some boats. But that's the system we got, and that's probably the best system we're ever going to have. I know. It's led to all this. Look, it led to all this. You know, look at that. We're walking by there's the mercantile exchange right there. You know the amount of money that goes through that on futures? It's just staggering. You know, billions and trillions of dollars are traded every day right here. All the fiber optic cable and networking, same with Wall Street. You know, the high frequency trading, you know, we don't stand a chance. They'll front run you and skim off the top, you know. Look at that lobby there, how the parking garage floats above. That's the ramp to get up to the parking above. It floats above that lobby there, and all those 4 beams are holding up that whole building there. Those 4 beams. We're on, you just joined, we're in Chicago. We're on Wacker Drive, and we're heading north here. We're just crossing Monroe. Here's Monroe. Sorry, I've been missing a bunch of comments here. There's the Mercantile Exchange. Look at these smooth stones here. It's all very zen-like entrance to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Yeah, it's a private building. Yeah, it's privately owned. Yeah, it's not a post office anymore. It's owned by all those corporations. And you know, Tara, you know, I used to be able to walk through there without issue. And I wonder if my phone, if I wasn't using a gimbal, they might not have. But I noticed, like, I used to be able to film in the Chicago Athletic Association hotel, and then, you know, they're cracking down on that. So all these buildings are creating policies, and it's probably the result of people like me live streaming. There's the Mercantile Exchange, and it's only going to get worse. Trust me. Like I said, one day, you know, they'll tackle me in the street and say I can't film like walking down the street. Which, what are the chilling implications? You know, you can't film like dash cams. You can't film like, you know, traffic incidents if somebody cost you in the street. You know, that's like with the CTA policy. You know, people need to be able to film if they get attacked on the train, so they have a record of who's attacking them, you know. And so what, yeah, right, you can't film on the train. Come on, you can film on the train. Danny and I talked about that too. But they'll tell you can't, because they don't want you filming them sitting in the agent's office there. You know, I get it. Here's the Lyric Opera of Chicago. And I respect people that have to do security. It's a hard job. You're paid to protect the corporate assets, and there's homeless people and people to try to damage corporate property, and, you know, all the protests and stuff going on. You know, it's just, here, we'll head back into the loop here. We'll go by, there's some purple lights here. There's some purple lights on those Christmas trees. So here we're crossing, look, Wacker Drive Viaduct. Wacker Drive, look at it. The car's going underneath us right here. So we're in the middle of Wacker Drive. You see exactly how this works. Here's the Wacker Drive Viaduct. Rahm Emanuel, reconstructed 2011. Yeah, they did work on it. I remember that when they redid Wacker Drive. It was under construction during that period. So what's listed on the National Register of let's see. Yeah, I'm sure the old post office is on the National Historic Register, yeah. And that's why, you know, imagine tourists. You know, I'm sure tourists, educated tourists would like to go there and just like film in there, like for their own thing. Are they not allowed to film an historic building, just like Union Station, that has historical significance and how it's been reconverted? You know, and so I'll look into that, why I was asked to leave or not film in there. It is interesting, and the guy didn't really press me that much. He just kind of let me know, and I respected it. I walked out there. I said my little thing, like I just wanted to promote the building and show how beautiful it was, but they won't even let us do that. But you can go see it for yourself. You can just walk through there. See, maybe you'll be able to film it and put it on. We can watch your YouTube channel. You might have better luck than me. Hey, welcome to Chicago. Welcome to. Where are we at here? Are we in Madison? Yeah, Madison, Franklin. There's the La Quinta. So we're heading back towards Daley Plaza. We got 12:45. Thanks for coming along our little lunch tour here. And yeah, I broke my rule. I usually don't curse, but I got so angry because I really want to film the inside. I see like the closing of the American mind there. You know, we're just, you know, wasn't that a book? Here, we'll head up this way. So we can go up another block here. We can go up to Monroe here. We'll go by the little mounds here. There's the Merc. How's everybody doing here? Yeah, and so far I've had much better luck filming in the Rookery. The Rookery, usually I don't even have to ask the security guards. Sometimes I'm like, can I film? They're like, yeah. And they let me film inside the Rookery, at least the bottom part. You can't go up the stairs. So I have footage on YouTube right now and TikTok from inside the Rookery, which is beautiful, where Frank Lloyd Wright, we walked by it today. And so we can head back there. You can go in the Marquette building. The Marquette building lobby is still public. It's part of the Pedway, technically. The AT&T building used to be part of the Pedway. They closed it off. I've been asked not to film in the former AT&T building, which really angered me too, because you used to always be able to walk through the bottom of that, and they got this big skylights you can look up, and security was all over me. But I think it's just because flash mobs, protests, and TikTok. You know, I'm a culprit there. I'll take the blame. I'm an evil live streamer. But I thank you guys for tuning in. We'll still post this footage, and we'll cross the street here real quick. We got 3 seconds. Looking south on Franklin here. Here's the bike path. We'll head right under Wells Street, and we'll head over towards Daley Plaza and see if the Kringle's still going. Oh, they do guided tours above. I'll look into that. And maybe sometime I can take a guided tour and show you that atrium above. It's just beautiful. Yeah, if you can get above there and the stairs, that's a good idea. Same with the auditorium building. You can take guided tours of the auditorium building where Roosevelt University is, and that great, you know, auditorium is there, theater. And you can go behind the stage, behind the scenes there. Same with the Rookery. That's a good idea. So all in good time. I'm just on my lunch break, so I got to go back to work and do some work. But thanks for tuning in here on our little lunch break. This all goes into the archives, and eventually we'll run across something interesting and cut it out. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for the good information. Hey, good luck with whatever you're dealing with. I know it's always something. It's always something with cars. I put a bow tie on my camera. Yeah, I gotta. You know, I don't want to resort to undercover work. I'll be a sleuth. You know, I was one of the people that was up in arm when the Google Glass, and everybody was gonna be wearing the virtual augmented reality glasses and all that stuff. And I'm like, everybody's gonna be filming everything all the time, every conversation. But that's pretty much what it is now, anyway. Here, we're waiting to cross the street here. Here, I'm gonna run across here real quick so we can look. There's underneath Wells Street here. Here, we got it. We'll cross right here. Oh, look at that building. Yeah, I don't film that building too often there. Nice vintage skyscraper. We're at Wells and Monroe here. No, this is Washington. This is Washington. We're all the way up to Washington here. So here, we'll take Washington straight over to Daley Plaza. This is perfect. Yeah, so I'll be here this week. I'll be in Chicago until next weekend. Next weekend I'm getting out of town. The next week's going to be a lot of travel and driving because my father doesn't want to fly anymore. My poor father, he's retired. You know, my father's great. I don't mean he's poor. I mean, I feel bad for him because, you know, he sits there and he watches the reels on Facebook and TikToks and everything. He doesn't really watch TikTok. He watches Facebook reels. And he sees so much, like, people fighting on planes, and he had a bad experience last holiday season. Everybody had a bad flight experience last. And he goes, I'm never flying again. So he means it too. He means it. He really is never going to fly again. And so we're going to take his vehicle and we're going to spend 2 days driving to Texas. And that gives us an opportunity. We all have a car when we're down there. So we're going to spend time over the holidays with my family down there. Here's a great view to the Board of Trade here. And then the week after Christmas, we might head to Austin and San Antonio and check out the sites there. So we'll take the show on the road. So my live streaming schedule will be intermittent. That's why I'm live streaming so much now, like, you know, 3 times a day. I know I'm really burning the candle at both ends because I'm working 8-hour days, live streaming for like several hours a day, and then you get up and do the next thing over and over again. And then some people are like, when are you going on there? I'm like, I was just on 3 times a day. People don't realize how annoying that gets when people, you know, it's a good problem to have because then people are like looking for your next live stream, which I appreciate. But I literally will go like live 3 times a day for like an hour, over an hour each time. And then people will be like, are you going to go live tonight? I'm like, shut up, leave me alone. You know, I'm not like live streaming going to the bathroom 24/7. I mean, come on. You know, I don't think people expect that. Not me. Maybe if I was a younger, cute-looking woman or something, I would understand it. Here's the Krist Kringle Market, Washington and Clark. We'll go by, and there's freedom of speech right there. Freedom of speech. We're free to express our views, and the public square here, and we'll go right through Krist Kringle Market. Look at all these people having a great time at the Krist Kringle Market, and that guy's standing right there. So, you know. Hey, let's go. Thank you. Hey, appreciate it. This is awesome. Hey, Krist Kringle Market's look great. Thank you, sir. That's awesome. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. See, isn't that nice? See, the security welcomed me. This is a public square. The security welcomed me. He said, come on in. He saw I was live streaming. So take that, post office. Now I'm going to start being mean to the post office building because I want to promote their building. They won't let me. So here's the Krist Kringle Market. Welcome to Chicago, Daley Plaza. Are we streaming okay? Yeah, we've been here many times. I'm not going to spend much time. There's Krampus. We talked about Krampus. We already passed Krampus Day. And Santa's Evil here. All these beautiful booths and stuff made out of honey. Hey, Krampus. there's Krampus. But here, there's the Picasso. Look at this. Yeah, this is the best time to go to it. Yeah, during the daytime, because you see how crowded it gets at night. Some people said they tried to go here on Friday and Saturday, and it was so crowded, it actually becomes hard to get around. And if you get trapped in a tent or something, sometimes it's hard. You know, it becomes claustrophobic. You go inside the beer garden and stuff, and it just becomes hard. But here, welcome to the Krist Kringle Market. There's the cuckoo clocks, schnitzel, potato pancakes. Everybody's getting food. They're ringing the beer, the bell, the gluten wine, and getting the hot chocolate. And
don't tell me that, Andrew.
Yeah. Hamburg, Germany's the sister city to Chicago. Get your stuffed pretzels. All these people. It's still pretty crowded here right now. Let me get through the crowd here. There we go. There's the Grand Timber House. Hey, enjoying the good. Look at that. Yeah. See, people are hanging out in the beer garden here, the beer hall, getting the gluten wine. Yeah, it smells great. Candy cane lane, roll-ups. Roll mops, roll mops. Hey, Elena, thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Krist, thanks for tuning in. Oh, yeah, this has plenty of security cameras, as does the old post office. I'll never let it go. I'll never let it go. You know me, I can hold a grievance better than the former president there. Here's the, look, there's the Grinch. Kathy Wolfhart. We walked through there, plenty of ornaments. We did check out that ornament shop on Michigan Avenue. I got a name for it, so I know some people were asking about that. Hey, get some strudel mugs. There, yeah, it smells great. Get the photo booth. People are lining up for the Frank's Ornament House. Handmade ornaments from Germany. Here's the nativity scene. People often ask where it's. You see the giant menorah there. Happy Hanukkah. We got the nativity scene here. And here we'll show the eternal flame here. What time we got here? 12:55. 12:55. We made it through. We made it through. They let us film. Look at the nativity scene. Here's the nativity scene. Kringle Market. There's the Picasso City Hall. Yeah, I usually organize my day so I eat a brunch. I walk to work in the morning on TikTok. I usually get to work by 8 o'clock Chicago Central Time, or at least I try to, roundabout there, give or take. And then I work 4 hours. Then at noon Chicago time, I start this YouTube walk. In between that time, I usually go to McDonald's or I go get something healthier and get a brunch, and I eat it at my desk while I'm working. And you know, many people I work with work from home. They do the same thing when they're working from home. My boss has no problem with me eating at my desk while I'm working. And then, you know, if I get hungry in the afternoon, I'll get something to eat before I head home. Usually I get out of work around 5 o'clock, so like around 5 p.m. tonight, probably on TikTok tonight, we'll try to film the beautiful Christmas lights. But probably one night this week, I'll do another walk on YouTube. Maybe like Friday night, we'll walk along the beautiful Michigan Avenue lights there, and we'll do it on YouTube so we can get it in landscape. We did it once before, and we'll try it again to get some more footage there. There's the Nederlander. We're back at Randolph and Dearborn here, and we'll just wait to cross the street here. We'll get you some footage. Yeah, last week they were having a matinee, like 1:30 showing of Hamilton, I think, and I was talking about one of you tuning in there. Somebody said that they knew somebody that was going to a matinee there of Hamilton, but it doesn't look like that's going on today. We're almost to 1 o'clock here, but we tried to get to the old post office. I got you a little glimpse of the tree there, and there's not much in there. I mean, you know, there's a food court. It's more interesting to go out to that back patio area because you got a nice view to the Sears and the 311 Wacker. But we got some good footage of the Union Station, and hopefully I didn't cut out too much there. Usually when I go in the tunnels there, I cut out. But we'll keep this show on the road here. We'll go past the Nederlander. Sounds like a musician's playing up here at the corner. A trumpetist, our clarinetist, and I think it's a trumpet. So we'll go past the musician here. We'll head past State Street. There's the Blick and the Nederlander. We go by this all the time. Thanks for tuning in here. Scenes of the city. I'll try to get across the street here. Let's see. There's the elk going across. Look at that. Yeah. Let me zoom in here just a little bit. Get the elk going across the street there. Look, we can run across right here. There we go. Oh, somebody asked me about Soldier Field. Yeah, nah, you know, I got some footage on TikTok where people were tailgating before the first game where they played Green Bay. I got 2 videos on TikTok where they're 10 minutes long, and we walk through the whole crowd there singing "Bear Down, Chicago Bears," and that was a fun time watching everybody tailgate. I've been by Soldier Field many times. I'm on my lunch break, so I know people want to see it, but we'll get by it eventually. Usually I have to ride a bike to get down there for my lunchtime because it's about a mile south of where I work. So actually it's like 2 miles south. So it would be too long to walk there. But it's beautiful, that colonnade, even with what they did with here's the Chicago Theater there. And they're doing it. Twas the night before Cirque du Soleil. That'll be playing almost the entire month there. They got a bunch of dates there. Chicago Theater. There's this plug walk alley. Channel 7 News, they're all closed up. Sometimes they film their noon broadcast, but then they got the ladder there, so they're not filming right there. But look at the Chicago theaters looking nice. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for coming on this nice little lunch walk here. And we still got some good stuff. We still got some good stuff. Thanks for tuning in. Sound of the L's rumbling out there. We'll cross the street here. This is always an interesting intersection to film through here, because there's people that, my car's going around the corner here, but there's people that do not like people like me filming in this corner, because there's a red line station right here. It's a very important, and there's all kinds of stuff that goes on here, you know. And so I wouldn't recommend people just like, you know, filming. Yeah, see, look, he's making a signal right there. That was a signal. That was a signal to say, hey, there's a camera in the area. And that's his right to do it, you know. I get it. There's Cesar's Tacos. Here's underneath of the, this is the side of the Chicago Theater. Cesar's been setting up here for a long time. I just say that because last week people noticed there was a guy, he was wearing a ski mask. He was wearing a ski mask, and right here, he didn't like me filming him. I'm like, dude, you're wearing a ski mask. I'm not filming you. You know, why are you so paranoid? You know, we always talk about it all the time, when usually it's, you know, there was something else going on and I wasn't supposed to know, and I didn't know, and I'll never know, never cared to know. I'm just walking down the street, dude. There's cameras everywhere, like we talk about. There's probably 50 cameras we walked through today. They saw me coming a mile away when I tried to get into the old post office. They almost stopped me before I went in the door. They were watching the live stream. Hey, maybe we'll get the L going by here. Look at this. Yeah, we got the L going by. So here, look at that scene of the city right there. Making the bend there. Wabash. And here, if I cross the street, we can actually get to the other side here. So watch this. We'll get the L here going by. Look at that. Yeah, scenes of the city. Here's the bike. Look how long that train is. Yeah, it's a brown line heading north there. The Kimball. Detective John Kimball from Kindergarten Cap. Yeah, train spotting. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Oh yeah, Sharon, that's a great idea. Talk to Grim Evil. You know, Grim Evil tunes in sometimes. He's working on a shirt right now. It says Scenes of the City. I think it has like a skyline or something. He's working with the printer right now, or the shirt maker, put my logo on it and stuff. And then I also got the, and eventually we'll do it on the spread shop too, because I'm just waiting for Grim Evil to roll out his shirt. And we'll have plenty of options for swag. I appreciate it. That's a good idea. You know, I take suggestions. You know, if there's any certain type of product you're looking for, as long as they make it. You know, I'm looking to make more, put more artwork and stuff that we do, and promote the brand. And yeah, here's a Billy Goats. This is not the original Billy Goats. This is just an outlet here. And here I hear the elk going by here again. There we go. There's a green line making the bend right there. Look at that. It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor. That was so cute. Kindergarten Cap. Yeah, what a great movie. Yeah, it's about 32 degrees, 31 degrees. So, you know, we're right at freezing. But, you know, it's not that bad. You know, you know, just wear a coat. You know, it's, and already like I said, my relatives in Florida are already taunting me. They're like, sure you want to come down and you want to come down and visit in January? I said, I might take you up on that. We'll see. See if we can work it in. But here, we'll get you back to Michigan Avenue, and then should be back at work here. It's 103. I'll actually run to get across the street here. I see the light here. We got 21 seconds. I can make that, no problem. And then we'll wrap this up once we get to the other side of Michigan Avenue here. Got 12 seconds. 12 seconds. Look at that great view to the Wrigley Building. Look at north on Michigan Avenue. So tonight, after 5 o'clock, I'll probably be on TikTok. We'll head straight north there. and check out the lights. It'll be dark because it gets dark at like 4:30. Thanks for being on my lunchtime cruise. Sorry for the cursing outburst. I could cut that out, make it PG, but I think you understand why, my frustrations. Thanks for tuning in for Scenes of the City. Thanks for being on, everybody. Sorry if I missed any comments. And we'll do this again tonight. Thanks for tuning in. YouTube and Lunch Bunch. We'll catch you later. Hey, that's good. See you later. Have a great day. Talk to you later from Chicago. That's